Hey there, this is Pastor Tabitha Purple. We are doing our parental tips and tricks, and so what you will have noticed is I'm in a new location, and the tip and trick for today is about location. Now, we're coming to the point where some countries are beginning to lift the really intense lockdown scenarios, and so we're beginning to see a little bit of movement, a little bit of places that you can go. Now, if you have children, especially who suffer with any anxiety issues or have any other underlying rhythm kind of issues that really upsets them, the autism and itself, so disrupting their rhythm patterns can be really difficult. What I have found to work for my family is to stay consistent for as long as possible while discussing possible changes. And so what we've done is that we literally have not changed the system. I have discovered, bring my children out to different places maybe. Out to a park, and I've noticed that it's possible that the people aren't all crowded in, so you could actually have a little bit of space and the children can play for a bit. Or I could bring them to my workplace and allow them to sit here and learn and have a different environment, but that would be for me and not for them. For my children, it would be really important that we stay consistent, and we discuss the possibility that things will change, that they will start school, that they will have these small changes. And here where we are in the Netherlands, school opens next week, not full-time but half-time, and that's going to be a huge change, because not only are you asking children to go in half the time now, but you're then saying the other half of the time is homeschool time. And how do we balance those two things? And having two children in two different age groups and two different classes has meant that my children are on school on clashing times, so they're going at opposites, which then adds a different level of complexity. And so really what I've tried to do is, while we've had the opportunity to do more things, not big things, but just like maybe, go out as a group and sit somewhere, which we have not really done before, and I noticed was possible in the last week, I decided not to take advantage of that, because I really felt like keeping the consistency, keeping the rhythm and the routine, especially where anxiety levels can get really high for children. They can get really overwhelmed with all of the changes, or they can just go wild. And then it's like, we have a little one, she just run riot, and then all of that 1.5 meters is gone, it's evaporated, you have to take them all home, and it's all ended in disaster. So I think really just preparing ourselves as parents, but also preparing the children that these changes are coming, while keeping consistent and not getting like cabin fever and just running out into the world like without a plan. So that's been how we're dealing with it. That's my tip. Like, if you have children who are going to really struggle, you're probably already thinking about it. You're having sleepless nights like I'm having. You're like really freaking out because the timetable is going to return, or some of the stresses about being in the world are going to just come right back to normal. And you're wondering how to really pace it. For me, that has meant just actually remaining a little bit more consistent and trying as much as possible. Just because things are available to us doesn't mean that we have to do them. And really realizing now that actually there's going to have to be a period of real proper adjustment where we're not doing a full normal timetable of after school activities and school, and because it is going to really exhaust the children. And so therefore we as parents are going to have to really stagger this and try and work out how we fit this in alongside work returning to normal and the rest of the world kind of catching up. And there are just things that we won't be able to do as a result of that, and there'll be appointments that we don't take, and there'll be socialization that we don't do, because it's really important that the children feel safe, but that's really difficult, and it's just going to be really tough. So I know I'm going to come back to this one, but I guess that was just what I wanted to really start with, as how do we start thinking about going out? And for me, it was being consistent. My husband or I go out, and therefore we continue to do that. While we have a little more freedom, they can enjoy the peace of the consistent rhythm and routine. So that's been our tip, and we will be starting a mixture of homeschool and school next week. I have my own level of anxiety about that, so we'll see how it goes. Yay! All right, take care, bye-bye.